Have you ever wondered how governments make sure people follow the rules? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of government rule enforcement. From the laws that shape our daily lives to the systems that keep order in society, enforcement is a key part of making sure everything runs smoothly. In this video, we'll explore the different ways governments ensure compliance, the agencies involved, and why enforcement matters for everyone. Let's start by understanding what government rules are and why they exist in the first place. Government rules, often called laws or regulations, are guidelines created to maintain order, protect citizens, and promote fairness. These rules can cover everything from traffic laws to environmental protections. Without them, society would struggle to function effectively. Rules are established through legislative processes and are designed to address the needs and challenges of the community. Understanding what these rules are helps us see why enforcement is so important. Next, let's look at who is responsible for making these rules. In most countries, rules are made by legislative bodies such as parliaments or congresses. These elected officials debate, draft, and pass laws that reflect the needs and values of their constituents. Sometimes, government agencies or regulatory bodies also have the authority to create specific regulations within their areas of expertise. Once rules are established, it's up to other branches of government to interpret and enforce them. Now, let's explore the agencies responsible for enforcement. Enforcement of government rules is carried out by a variety of agencies. Police departments enforce criminal laws, regulatory agencies oversee compliance in areas like health or finance, and specialized units handle issues such as environmental protection. Each agency has its own set of responsibilities and tools for ensuring that rules are followed. These organizations work together to maintain order and uphold the law. Next, let's see how these agencies actually enforce the rules. Government agencies use a range of methods to enforce rules. These can include routine inspections, issuing fines or penalties, conducting investigations, and, in some cases, making arrests. The choice of method depends on the type of rule and the severity of the violation. For example, a health inspector might visit restaurants to ensure food safety, while police officers may patrol neighborhoods to deter crime. Let's take a closer look at some common enforcement actions. Inspections and audits are proactive ways governments check for compliance. Inspectors visit businesses, workplaces, or public spaces to ensure rules are being followed. For example, health inspectors check restaurants for cleanliness, while tax auditors review financial records. These checks help catch problems early and encourage everyone to stay within the rules. If violations are found, agencies can issue warnings or take further action. Next, let's talk about penalties and consequences. When someone breaks a rule, government agencies can impose penalties. These might include fines, license suspensions, or even jail time, depending on the seriousness of the offense. Penalties serve as a deterrent, reminding others of the importance of following the rules. The goal isn't just to punish, but to encourage better behavior in the future. Now, let's see how investigations play a role in enforcement. Investigations are a key part of enforcing rules, especially when violations aren't immediately obvious. Agencies may gather evidence, interview witnesses, and analyze data to determine if a rule has been broken. Investigations can be complex and take time, but they're essential for ensuring fairness and accuracy. Once the facts are clear, agencies decide on the appropriate response. Next, let's look at the role of the courts in enforcement. Courts play a crucial role in government enforcement. When there's a dispute or someone challenges a penalty, the courts interpret the law and make final decisions. Judges ensure that enforcement actions are fair and consistent with legal standards. This system of checks and balances helps protect individual rights while upholding the rule of law. Now, let's discuss how technology is changing enforcement. Modern technology is transforming how governments enforce rules. Tools like surveillance cameras, data analytics, and online reporting systems make it easier to detect violations and respond quickly. For example, traffic cameras can automatically issue tickets for speeding, while databases help agencies track compliance. Technology also allows for more transparency and accountability in enforcement. Next, let's see how public participation supports enforcement efforts. Citizens play an important role in helping governments enforce rules. People can report violations, serve as witnesses, or participate in community watch programs. Public cooperation makes enforcement more effective and helps build trust between agencies and the community. When everyone works together, it's easier to maintain order and safety. Now, let's look at the challenges governments face in enforcement. Enforcing rules isn't always easy. Governments face challenges like limited resources, complex laws, and changing social attitudes. Sometimes, enforcement can be inconsistent or unfair, leading to public criticism. Agencies must constantly adapt to new problems and find ways to improve their methods. Let's explore how governments address these challenges and strive for better enforcement. To overcome challenges, governments invest in training, update their technologies, and seek feedback from the public. Continuous improvement helps agencies become more efficient and fair. For example, new training programs can teach officers about cultural sensitivity, while updated software can streamline case management. These efforts make enforcement more effective and responsive to community needs. Next, let's discuss the importance of fairness in enforcement. Fairness is a cornerstone of effective rule enforcement. Agencies must apply rules equally to everyone, regardless of background or status. Transparent procedures and clear communication help build public trust. When people believe enforcement is fair, they're more likely to comply with the rules. Let's look at some examples of how fairness is promoted in government enforcement. One example of fairness is the use of body cameras by police officers, which record interactions and provide evidence in case of disputes. Another is publishing clear guidelines for fines and penalties, so everyone knows what to expect. These practices help ensure that enforcement is consistent and accountable. Now, let's examine the consequences of weak enforcement. When enforcement is weak, rules lose their power. People may ignore laws, leading to more violations and less trust in government. This can result in unsafe conditions, economic losses, and social unrest. Effective enforcement is essential for maintaining order and protecting the public. Next, let's see how international cooperation can strengthen enforcement. Many issues, like cybercrime or environmental protection, cross national borders. Governments often work together through treaties and organizations to enforce rules internationally. Sharing information and coordinating actions helps tackle problems that no single country can solve alone. International cooperation is becoming increasingly important in our interconnected world. Let's look at how enforcement adapts to new challenges. As society changes, so do the challenges of enforcement. New technologies, evolving crimes, and shifting social norms require governments to stay flexible. Agencies must update their strategies and tools to keep up with these changes. This adaptability ensures that enforcement remains effective and relevant. Now, let's discuss the role of education in supporting enforcement. Educating the public about rules and the reasons behind them is a powerful tool for enforcement. Awareness campaigns, school programs, and community workshops help people understand their responsibilities. When citizens know the rules and why they matter, they're more likely to comply voluntarily. Education supports enforcement by building a culture of respect for the law. Next, let's look at how feedback improves enforcement. Feedback from the public and within agencies helps improve enforcement. Governments may use surveys, hotlines, or community meetings to gather input. This feedback can highlight problems, suggest solutions, and build stronger relationships between agencies and citizens. Continuous improvement makes enforcement more responsive and effective. Now, let's explore the concept of proportionality in enforcement. Proportionality means that the response to a rule violation should match the seriousness of the offense. Minor infractions might result in warnings, while serious crimes could lead to arrest or imprisonment. This principle ensures that enforcement is fair and just, preventing excessive punishment. Proportionality helps maintain public confidence in the system. Next, let's discuss the importance of transparency. Transparency means that enforcement actions and decisions are open and clear to the public. Agencies may publish reports, hold press conferences, or provide online updates about their activities. Transparency builds trust and allows citizens to hold agencies accountable. When people understand how and why rules are enforced, they're more likely to support the system. Let's look at the role of oversight in enforcement. Oversight ensures that enforcement agencies follow the rules themselves. Independent bodies, such as ombudsmen or review boards, investigate complaints and monitor agency actions. Accountability means that agencies must answer for their decisions and correct mistakes when necessary. Oversight and accountability are vital for maintaining public trust. Next, let's discuss the balance between enforcement and individual rights. Enforcement must respect individual rights, such as privacy and freedom of expression. Agencies need to balance the need for order with the protection of civil liberties. Laws and procedures are in place to prevent abuse of power and ensure that enforcement is carried out lawfully. This balance is essential for a just and democratic society. Now, let's look at how enforcement varies in different countries. Enforcement practices can differ widely from country to country. Some nations have strict laws and heavy penalties, while others focus on education and community involvement. Cultural values, legal traditions, and government structures all influence how rules are enforced. Understanding these differences helps us appreciate the diversity of approaches to maintaining order. Next, let's discuss the role of ethics in enforcement. Ethical standards guide how agencies enforce rules. Officers and officials are expected to act with honesty, integrity, and respect for all individuals. Ethical enforcement prevents corruption and abuse, ensuring that agencies serve the public good. Training and codes of conduct help reinforce these values. Now, let's look at how enforcement adapts to emergencies. Emergencies like natural disasters or pandemics require special enforcement measures. Governments may impose temporary rules, such as curfews or travel restrictions, to protect public safety. Agencies must act quickly and communicate clearly to ensure compliance. Emergency enforcement is challenging, but it's essential for managing crises. Next, let's discuss the importance of communication in enforcement. Effective communication is vital for successful enforcement. Agencies use press releases, social media, and public announcements to inform people about rules and changes. Clear, timely messages help prevent confusion and encourage compliance. Good communication also allows agencies to respond to concerns and correct misinformation. Now, let's look at the role of leadership in enforcement. Strong leadership sets the tone for effective enforcement. Leaders in government agencies establish priorities, set ethical standards, and motivate their teams. Good leaders listen to feedback, adapt to new challenges, and inspire public confidence. Leadership is essential for building a culture of accountability and excellence in enforcement. Next, let's discuss the impact of enforcement on society. Enforcement has a profound impact on society. Effective enforcement promotes safety, fairness, and trust in government. It helps create stable communities where people can live, work, and thrive. On the other hand, poor enforcement can lead to disorder and mistrust. Understanding this impact highlights the importance of strong, fair enforcement systems. Now, let's explore the future of government enforcement. The future of government enforcement will be shaped by new technologies, changing social values, and global challenges. Artificial intelligence, data analytics, and international cooperation will play bigger roles. Agencies will need to stay flexible and innovative to keep up with these changes. The goal will always be to protect the public and uphold the rule of law. Next, let's summarize what we've learned about government enforcement. Let's recap the main points. Government rules are essential for order and safety. Enforcement agencies use a variety of methods, from inspections to penalties, to ensure compliance. Fairness, transparency, and accountability are crucial for public trust. Challenges exist, but continuous improvement and adaptation help agencies stay effective. The future will bring new tools and approaches, but the core principles of enforcement will remain the same. Rule enforcement is the process by which governments ensure that laws and regulations are followed. It involves monitoring, investigating, and responding to violations. Effective enforcement maintains order, protects rights, and promotes fairness in society. Agencies must balance firmness with fairness, adapting to new challenges as they arise. Compliance means following the rules set by the government. It's the desired outcome of enforcement efforts. When people and organizations comply, society functions smoothly and safely. Agencies use education, incentives, and penalties to encourage compliance. High levels of compliance reduce the need for strict enforcement. Deterrence is a key goal of enforcement. By imposing penalties for violations, governments discourage others from breaking the rules. The threat of consequences makes people think twice before acting unlawfully. Effective deterrence relies on the certainty, swiftness, and severity of enforcement actions. Accountability means that enforcement agencies and officials are responsible for their actions. They must follow the law, respect rights, and correct mistakes. Accountability builds public trust and ensures that enforcement serves the public interest. Oversight bodies and transparent procedures help maintain accountability. Proportionality ensures that enforcement actions are appropriate to the seriousness of the violation. Minor offenses receive lighter penalties, while serious crimes are met with stronger responses. This principle helps maintain fairness and prevents abuse of power in enforcement. Transparency means that enforcement processes and decisions are open to public scrutiny. Agencies share information about their actions, making it easier for citizens to understand and trust the system. Transparency is vital for accountability and public confidence. Oversight refers to the monitoring and review of enforcement agencies by independent bodies. These organizations investigate complaints, review decisions, and ensure that agencies act lawfully. Oversight protects citizens' rights and strengthens the legitimacy of enforcement. Civil liberties are the basic rights and freedoms that must be protected during enforcement. These include privacy, freedom of speech, and due process. Agencies must respect civil liberties while carrying out their duties, ensuring that enforcement does not become oppressive. Public trust is the confidence citizens have in enforcement agencies. Trust is built through fairness, transparency, and accountability. When people trust the system, they are more likely to cooperate and comply with the rules. Maintaining public trust is essential for effective enforcement. Adaptability is the ability of enforcement agencies to respond to new challenges and changing circumstances. This includes updating laws, adopting new technologies, and revising procedures. Adaptability ensures that enforcement remains effective in a dynamic world. International cooperation involves governments working together to enforce rules that cross borders. This can include sharing information, joint investigations, and harmonizing laws. Cooperation is essential for tackling global challenges like cybercrime and environmental protection. Continuous improvement means that enforcement agencies are always looking for ways to do better. This involves learning from mistakes, adopting best practices, and seeking feedback from the public. Continuous improvement keeps enforcement effective and responsive to society's needs. In conclusion, government enforcement of rules is essential for a safe, fair, and orderly society. It involves a complex system of agencies, methods, and principles designed to protect the public and uphold the law. By understanding how enforcement works, we can appreciate its importance and support efforts to make it even better. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of government rule enforcement.